We're discussing hyperbolic stretching today, a progressive method for boosting flexibility. We'll cover the basics, reveal the inspiration behind its striking name, and explore the new features of the 4.0 update. Prepare for insights to help you move easier.
When I first heard about this, I was like, hyperbolic stretching? What even is that? It sounded like, I don't know, some extreme contortionist act or something.
Yeah.
But turns out it's this pretty fascinating blend of science and fitness, right? It's
Right.
not just like touching your toes. It's about, understanding how your body moves and how to unlock its full potential, I guess.
It's interesting you mentioned unlocking potential because a lot of people hit a plateau with, traditional stretching. You might be familiar with static stretching, where you hold a pose, or dynamic stretching with like controlled movements.
Right.
Both have their place, but they often lead to, kind of incremental gains.
Yeah.
Hyperbolic stretching aims for something a little more dramatic.
Okay, so let's get right to it. What exactly hyperbolic stretching? Imagine combining the fluidity of dynamic stretching with a structured routine that progressively challenges your muscles and your nervous system. That's the essence of hyperbolic stretching. It utilizes these specific movements, often incorporating momentum, to activate those neuromuscular pathways and push your flexibility further faster.
Faster is the key word here.
Yeah.
What makes it so different from those traditional methods we were talking about?
One key difference is the focus on neuromuscular activation. Think of it like this. Your muscles have a natural range, that they're comfortable with.
Yeah.
To increase that range, you need to not only, stretch the muscle fibers, but also retrain your nervous system to like accept that new range.
Okay.
Hyperbolic stretching incorporates movements that stimulate these neural pathways, encouraging your body to adapt and become more flexible.
So it's not just about brute force stretching. It's about working with your body's like natural systems.
Right.
It's almost like rewiring your flexibility limits.
Yeah, that's a good analogy. But let's talk about that unusual name, hyperbolic. It's not your typical fitness jargon, is it?
Definitely not. It sounds almost mathematical.
You're onto something there. In everyday language, hyperbolic often just means exaggerated. But in mathematics, a hyperbola is a curve known for its incredibly rapid, almost exponential change.
Ah, so the name connects to the idea of rapid flexibility gains.
Exactly. It's a clever play on words, linking the mathematical concept of a hyperbola to the dramatic improvements in flexibility this technique promises. Think about the shape of a hyperbola, its steepness. It visually represents that accelerated change.
So it's not just a catchy name. It actually like embodies the core concept. But tell me, where did this technique originate? Who came up with it?
The term hyperbolic stretching started gaining traction around the mid-2010s. Fitness entrepreneur Alex Larsson is often credited with popularizing it around 2016. He presented it as this breakthrough in flexibility training, and it quickly caught the attention of, athletes, fitness enthusiasts, even those simply looking to improve their mobility.
It's fascinating how fitness trends emerge. This one seems to tap into our desire for faster results, which, let's be honest, is something we all crave in some way. But I imagine the program has evolved since then, right? I mean, it's been around for a while.
Absolutely. Even revolutionary ideas benefit from refinement. The early versions were all about pushing the boundaries of flexibility. But as more people used it and as research progressed, refinements were made. Exercises were adjusted, safety measures enhanced, new understandings of how muscles and tendons adapt, all that was integrated.
So it's been a dynamic process.
Yeah.
Adapting and improving over time,
Exactly.
which leads us to the 4.0 version. What sets this latest update apart? What's new and exciting?
Think of 4.0 as a more personalized and refined approach. You'll find more tailored routines, improvements in instruction, and a greater emphasis on modifications for different fitness levels. It's all about making the program more accessible and effective for everyone.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach anymore. It's about finding the right fit for your individual needs and abilities.
Right.
But before we delve into those specifics, let's step back and look at the big picture. What are the fundamental principles that make hyperbolic stretching unique? What's the foundation it's built on?
Well,
We'll get into that after a quick break.
hyperbolic stretching is built on four 4 core principles. First, we have dynamic movements, which are essential for activating those neuromuscular pathways we've been talking about.
Right.
These aren't your typical static stretches.
Right.
They involve controlled fluid motions, often incorporating momentum to kind of push your range of motion further.
So it's about training your nervous system to kind of accept a greater range of motion.
Yeah.
That's like teaching your body to be more flexible, I guess.
Exactly. And that's where the second principle comes in, progressive overload.
Okay.
Just like weightlifting, you gradually increase the intensity of the stretches, challenging your body to, adapt and become more flexible over time.
Makes perfect sense. You wouldn't start lifting the heaviest weights right away. You gradually, work your way up to avoid injury. So how does progressive overload work in the context of hyperbolic stretching?
You might start with a less intense version of a stretch and gradually increase the range of motion or the speed of the movement as your flexibility improves. The key is to challenge yourself without pushing too hard too fast, and that leads us to the third principle: safety and control.
Okay, that sounds incredibly important, especially with a technique that promises such rapid results.
Absolutely. Hyperbolic stretching really emphasizes proper form and controlled movements to, minimize the risk of injury.
Right.
It's not about reckless abandon. It's about pushing your boundaries safely and effectively.
I think a lot of people kind of shy away from flexibility training because they're, afraid of hurting themselves. It's reassuring to know that safety is kind of built into the foundation of this method. But there's one more principle, right? Holistic integration.
That's right. Hyperbolic stretching isn't just about, isolated stretches. It's about improving overall functional movement. Think of it as enhancing the way your body moves as a whole. Your balance, your posture, your ability to move freely and effortlessly in everyday life.
It's like optimizing your body's movement potential.
Exactly. By addressing those neuromuscular pathways and improving flexibility, you're essentially fine-tuning your body's movement capabilities, allowing you to move with greater ease and efficiency.
Okay, so we've covered the foundation: dynamic movements, progressive overload, safety, and this holistic approach to movement. But let's get down to the benefits. What can people realistically expect from hyperbolic stretching?
The most obvious benefit is, of course, increased range of motion.
Yeah.
This translates to improved flexibility for everyday activities like, bending, reaching, even walking. But it also extends to athletic performance, where increased flexibility can enhance agility, power, and injury prevention.
I'm curious about the injury prevention aspect. How does hyperbolic stretching help in that regard?
Well, when you have a greater range of motion, your muscles and joints are less likely to be strained or injured during, physical activity. It's like having more give in your system, so you're less likely to hit those limits that can lead to injury.
That's a great way to think about it. Now, I'm sure many listeners are wondering, is this for me? Is hyperbolic stretching suitable for everyone? I mean, you mentioned that the 4.0 update is, it's more personalized, but is there a specific type of person who would benefit most from this technique?
The beauty of hyperbolic stretching, particularly with the 4.0 update, is that it's adaptable to, various fitness levels and needs.
Yeah.
Whether you're an athlete seeking peak performance, someone recovering from an injury, or simply looking to improve their overall mobility, there are modifications and progressions to suit your individual goals.
So it's not just for the super flexible or the super fit. There's a place for everyone in the world of hyperbolic stretching. But it's important to be realistic, right? I mean, results will vary from person to person depending on their starting point, their genetics, other factors.
Absolutely. Everyone's body is unique. Some people might see, dramatic improvements quickly, while others might experience more gradual gains. It's important to listen to your body, work at your own pace, and celebrate your progress along the way.
That's great advice. I think sometimes we get caught up in the quick fix mentality and forget that true progress takes time and consistency.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to find a form of exercise that you enjoy and that, fits into your lifestyle. Consistency is key. And if you're not enjoying the process, it's less likely you'll stick with it long term.
So true. Now, let's recap what we've covered so far. Hyperbolic stretching is a unique approach to flexibility training that emphasizes dynamic movements and progressive overload to activate neuromuscular pathways
Mm.
and improve range of motion.
Right.
It's designed to be safe, effective, and adaptable to various fitness levels, and it takes this holistic approach to movement,
Mm.
aiming to enhance your body's overall movement potential. We've talked about its origins, its evolution, and the four key principles that make it stand out. But there's one aspect we haven't touched on yet,
Mm.
the mental aspect. Does hyperbolic stretching require a certain mindset?
That's a great question, and it's often overlooked. While the physical techniques are important, the mental aspect plays a significant role in achieving success with hyperbolic stretching. It requires a willingness to push your boundaries, not just physically, but mentally as well.
Right.
You're challenging your body to move in ways it might not be used to, and that can be, kind of intimidating for some people.
Yeah, I could see that. It's like breaking through those mental barriers as much as physical ones.
Exactly. You need to approach it with a sense of curiosity and a willingness to kind of explore your limits. It's about trusting your body and believing in its ability to, adapt and change.
It sounds almost like a form of mindfulness, like paying attention to your body signals and responding accordingly.
There's definitely an element of mindfulness involved. You need to be aware of how your body feels, listen to any discomfort, and adjust your movements as needed. It's not about pushing through pain. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're challenging yourself without risking injury.
So it's about respecting your body's limits
Yeah.
while also pushing them gently.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance, and it's where the mental aspect comes into play. You need to be patient, persistent, and willing to trust the process.
It's fascinating how hyperbolic stretching seems to bridge that gap between physical fitness and mental well-being.
It's a powerful connection. When you improve your flexibility and move your body with greater ease, it often has a positive impact on your mental state. You feel more confident, more energized, more in tune with your body.
So like a mind-body transformation.
Exactly. And that's what makes hyperbolic stretching so compelling. It's not just about, achieving a physical goal. It's about enhancing your overall well-being.
Well said. So for our listeners who are intrigued by hyperbolic stretching and ready to, kind of explore its potential, what advice would you give them? Where should they start?
I always recommend starting with thorough research. Learn as much as you can about the technique, its benefits, and its potential risks. There's a wealth of information available online, including, the official hyperbolic stretching website, which offers detailed guides, videos, and testimonials.
Okay, that's a great starting point. And what about finding an instructor? Is that something you would recommend?
Absolutely. Working with a qualified instructor, especially when you're first starting out, can be incredibly beneficial. They can, guide you through the proper techniques, ensure you're performing the movements correctly, and help you progress safely and effectively.
It's like having a personal coach to guide you on your flexibility journey. But for those who might not have access to an instructor or prefer to explore on their own, uh, are there are there resources available for self-guided practice?
Yes, definitely. The hyperbolic stretching program offers online courses and videos that provide, detailed instructions and demonstrations. However, it's crucial to approach self-guided practice with caution. Pay close attention to your body, listen to any pain signals, and don't hesitate to seek professional guidance if you have any concerns.
Right, right. That's sound advice. It's
Yeah.
always better to err on the side of caution, especially when it comes to your physical well-being.
I completely agree. And remember, the journey to enhanced flexibility is a personal one. It's about finding what works best for your body, your goals, and your lifestyle.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into hyperbolic stretching, what's one final takeaway you'd like to leave our listeners with?
I'd encourage everyone to approach their flexibility journey with an open mind, a sense of curiosity, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. Hyperbolic stretching offers a unique and potentially faster route to increase flexibility, but it's just one path among many. The most important thing is to find a method that resonates with you, that challenges you safely, and that helps you move your body with greater freedom and ease.
Beautifully said. It's about finding joy in the process, respecting your body's limits, and celebrating the incredible potential for movement that lies within each of us. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into hyperbolic stretching. I hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and perhaps even a little bit mind-bending. Until next time, keep stretching, keep learning, and keep moving.